Live from PFG Television Center at Red 13 Studio. Welcome to Scorch's PFG TV. I am Lord Dougman W. Godspeed. Tonight, on another amazing episode, comedian Jimmy Dunn promoting his new book, Boat Hack. We also have an exclusive interview and performance with Bam Margera. We talk beer with the two beer guys. Also, Shelly Louise takes us to Super Mega Fest. And Scorch's co-host, legendary rock and roll drummer extraordinaire, Sib Hashin, and the Gil Korea Band. So let's give it up and make some noise for your host with the most, Scorch.
Gil Korea Band, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Scorch's PFG TV.
Hi, Kimo, Sunday Scorch.
Oh, you know, Sibby, have a seat for a second, because I got a couple of gifts here. Thank you all very much. What a great audience. Give it up for yourselves.
Oh, yeah, give yourself a hand. Holy smokes.
Just so you know, 2013 is the year Scorch's PFG TV is going to go national. You watch this. I'll guarantee.
Big time. We're going big time. I'm bringing everybody with us. All of y'all.
And I ask you, how can you not go national when you bring the co-host like Sibby Hashin a roll of paper towels because of the guest last week? You've called me every night this week.
What a show last week, not all.
Every night this week, you're like, hey, is Lacey Rain coming back? So I know you have thoughts about her. She's not here this week, but here for when you go home.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Okay. And that. Yeah, I doubt that's what you're going to do with it, Sibby. That right there it's a quicker picker-upper, so since you're the quicker releaser, you know what I mean, I'll pick it up.
What, are you talking to my wife? What?
Hey, let me ask you this.
Don't try it.
For those that don't understand, Sibby, what was that band that you used to play in way back when?
Just another band out of Boston. On the road, trying to make ends meet. Playing in the car, sleeping in the bars.
You played with Robin Lane and the Chartbusters?
Did you know Robin?
I know Robin Lane very well. Sibby from Boston, tell us about the thing you did recently at the Boston. You did a Boston montage.
It was a special showing for WBCN.
God bless WBCN. Rest in peace, WBCN. Oh,
they got cooking back in the late '60s, and they had a special party, and they had a filming for a documentary, and it started from all the early DJs right up to 1980. And they didn't go really past 1980, but it was a lot of fun. Billy the Spaceman was there, and when we got through playing our little medley, he came on and he said, you know what? He said, me and Dennis Eckersley used to go in the rampway before the games and smoke pot with these guys.
Yeah. And Sibby's like, dude, I never smoked pot with you in my life. Sibby, same thing with last episode, which you can find on scorchespfgtv.com. Sibby doesn't really burn. So
well, wait a minute. Let's not go that far.
Only when you're in the sun.
I don't burn my trash.
You know.
And I put it out on the side.
But I got to tell you something. I've never said this before.
Oh my God, here we go.
No. But it is an honor to have you as part of this TV show. No. You know what I mean? Think about that.
Thank you.
When I used to hang out in Jack Walsh's driveway in Hull, Massachusetts, listening to this little portable cassette player, listening to Boston.
It was me.
Jimmy Dunn coming up in a little bit,
Jimmy.
talking about Boat Hack. Also, the funny thing is, I love the Red 13 media people. I'm the type of guy that needs like a babysitter. And the two beer guys are here. And it's nice because they've come up to me quite a few times. They said, look, we know you. Don't get too drunk. So the two beer guys are here. We're going to talk to them as well. And extra special guest, Bam Margera, going to be on the show.
Oh, man.
So,
yeah.
Let's start off with our segment that we call Weird News. And I once again, I got to do this every show. Let's start off with our segment that we call Weird News.
Whoa! The weirder the better.
Eric Smith of Houston, Texas, survived getting a drill bit through his head. And I saw this thing. I actually posted it on my radio station website at rock101fm.com.
What time are you on?
2 to 7 in the afternoon.
Glad you told me.
Although, the way the radio business is, by the time this thing airs, this could be my only show. But he had a drill bit going right through his head. And he said he didn't realize that it happened. He was trying to do something. He was trying to cushion it. And he didn't realize that it had happened. And he said he will never have that kind of pain again after he got his arm cut off by a wind turbine. How the hell?
What's this guy up to?
Do you know what I mean? Obviously not that much, you know.
Well, he was using his head for pressure on the drill bit,
Well,
right?
that's it, yes. So, I'm gonna do 3 stories this time because this is another good one. Gail Williams of Detroit, Michigan. You travel.
Sure.
Detroit's still in Michigan, right?
You know what? Can I say one little cute little fact about Detroit?
Oh, for crying out loud. I could have mentioned Muskegee and we wouldn't have this story.
Only place topless shoe shine.
Oh, yeah?
Come on. All right, next week I'll take a bus, all the guys get on, we're all going out.
Yeah!
Yeah. I'll bring 2 pair.
Lacey ain't gonna be there.
She's gonna be here.
She'll be here.
Cancel the bus, guys.
There you go. Gail Williams of Detroit took the law into her own hands recently, literally. She stole a running police car as the police cars are to stop. So she took a joyride. Here's karma being a bitch. She took a joyride in which the car smashed into the local police station. There you go. Talk about that, huh? Yep, the police station also housed the jail, which is where she is now being housed.
She didn't have far to walk, right?
And finally, Alan Johnson of Kentucky said he was innocent of drinking and driving when police pulled him over for driving erratically. They eventually, I guess he passed all the tests.
Was it the gerbil?
They decided you ruin every...
Sorry.
They decided to let him go. I guess he must have passed the test, you know what I mean? As they let him go, he pulled out an open bottle of Jack Daniels and he toasted the cops, and the cops brought him to jail.
Perfect. Always do that.
And here you go, friends.
Yeah.
That's our Secretary of Weird News.
Yep.
Tell you what, coming back, we're going to tell you how you can get on the show, and we're going to talk to Jimmy Dunn about his brand new book, Boat Hack.
Yeah, Jimmy.
It's all coming up on Scorch's PFG TV. We're coming right back. Gil Correa, man. Welcome back to Scorch's PFG TV, the Gil Correa Band. I actually couldn't believe the guy agreed to come on the show today. I thought he was going to say, "You out of your mind?" I don't want to be part of that crap. This guy has been around. He's a local guy, done really well. You might know him as a cab driver in a lot of the commercials you see on like the Nesson area, whatnot. Which, by the way, I'll get into that later. Give it up for Jimmy Dunn.
Yeah.
Jimmy Dunn.
Thank you very much.
With the red cup, hell yeah.
What's up, Scorch? How are you? Jimmy, a pleasure, man. A pleasure. How are you?
Come on, sit down, get comfy.
Hey, Scorch.
Hey, Jimmy Dunn.
I like a show where you bring your own red cup.
You know, anytime we have a red cup, how do you not
Yeah,
like a
how
show with
things
a red
not
cup?
good.
Do you know, I mean, maybe I'm slow. It's funny how he's sitting a lot farther away from you than
Hey, don't make me
Than
scoot
last
up
week,
to him,
right,
will you?
yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Oh, that was very good. You remember it was last
Oh,
week.
yeah,
That was
yeah. I
great.
watch every week, man.
That was good too, Jimmy. Good for you. I never knew till like a month ago the red cups are lined inside so you know exactly how much liquor you're supposed to put in for certain drinks. Did you know that?
Yeah, because I know a lot of people when they have their red cups are thinking about measurements.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is, you know. Hey, Jimmy, before we get into the book, tell us
Yes.
about everything, man. You've had a very storied career. How'd you end up as the cab driver on those TV commercial things?
I built the cab. That's the short story. Thank you. Yeah, I was doing a show for Olympia Sports. I do a lot of corporate events, and I was entertaining the folks that work for Olympia, and met the owner, and we started talking about commercials, and next thing you know, I'm pitching him an idea, and the next thing you know, I'm literally spray painting a car yellow and building our own cab.
Good for you,
Yeah,
man.
thanks, man. Thank you.
See?
Yeah.
That goes to show you with a little bit of initiative,
Right.
it can really help. You gotta kind of take it upon yourself sometimes.
Yeah, we were calling around trying to get somebody to rent us a cab, and they were like, "We're not going to rent you a cab. There's no way." Right? Nobody would give me a cab, and I go, "Well, give me $1,000. I can build one."
That wouldn't even come out if you want to hire a cab. They're afraid of you.
Right.
You know.
Oh, yeah. So we went on eBay and bought some parts, and we built a little fake cab. It's all
Good for
TV.
you,
TV's all fake. You know that.
Right.
We're trying to convince the studio audience. There's 15,000 people today. 15,000 of you in the studio audience.
Good people,
So I'm trying to convince all 15,000 that it's not fake.
Right.
And here you are, a real guy, talking to a fake TV guy that it's fake. You know what I mean?
It's all fake, man.
But you love what you do, huh? You can tell
I
you
do love what
you
I do. I get to travel around the world and tell jokes, and people pay me. How can you not love that?
Do you know what I mean?
Right? Yeah.
Tell us about, and I know you have a book out. We're going to get into the book in a little bit.
All right.
I definitely want to talk
Because I know this is a big...
Oh, literary show. Yeah, we have a lot of...
I know that.
Yeah.
This has done
Endicott
big
College.
numbers for people that read books.
Endicott College actually has a library named after us. Yes, so there you go.
Right.
The PFG Library.
Library, you know what I mean?
I am honored to have my book in the PFG Library, my friend.
You know, on a side note, I do have a cat house named after me for my Plots for the Cause, just so you know. What was it like? Let's go back many, many, many years, okay?
All right.
What was it like the first time you got that call that says, I mean, above and beyond the smaller things you did.
Your rent's overdue.
What was the first? That was what day is today? What was the first big gig you had, and what was it like? Relive that first call.
The first real comedy gig.
Yeah.
I was pounding around doing open mic nights and grinding it out and trying to learn how to do it. And there's a comic in Boston named Kevin Flynn, who's now in New York City. Great guy. And he called me once and he said, "Look, I saw you do the thing at the open mic. Can you do 15 minutes?" And I went, "Yeah, sure." And he said, "I got a gig up in Maine, and you come open up for me." And I went, "Yeah, I got a real gig, you know."
Yeah.
And we went through all of Maine, right to the end of Maine, and some little hellhole. And I did 15 minutes in front of him, and he gave me $75 after the show. Wow. And I thought, I am a professional stand-up comic.
And he was hooked. He was hooked ever since.
And he called me last week, and we're doing the gig again next week. So
it was more than $75 though.
No, it's still 75. I'm still getting.
Good for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Maine has shrunk, so you don't have to worry about it so much. Now that's interesting. So you said something. Does it bother you? Because it truly, and I've called people out on it. When people say, "Oh, I can do that," it's nothing.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't that? Don't you want to just call them out every single time and say, "Come on up, try it"? Because you know what? It's when you can make Uncle Louie laugh because he's S-faced at the bar mitzvah.
Right.
It doesn't mean you can make. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean you can make a room full of people laugh. And you got to be able to also, if they don't laugh, you got to be able to not let it get to you. You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah. You got to be thick-skinned, and you forget about the bad gigs as soon as you walk out the door. You know, and then you remember the good ones as long as you can. And if everyone could do it, they would. You know, there's a reason, right?
No, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
You know?
Can I ask him a question?
Yeah.
Who would you think out of all the great comedians, in the last, not that far back, maybe 30 or 40 years, who do you think has been the most influential on you?
Oh, for me, there's no question in my mind. It's Lenny Clark and Don Gavin.
Awesome.
Good for you.
Good friends of mine.
Awesome. Yeah, and
awesome.
Those guys are my absolute comedy heroes and good friends now too. But I used to, when comedy started in Boston, it was down in the basements and it was really dirty and dangerous, and you didn't know what Lenny Clark was going to do. And people would go see Lenny and go, "Oh my God!" I mean, he was a god in this town, and I was one of the guys that's one of the reasons I got into stand-up comedy. I used to watch those guys and go, they were rock stars back then, right?
I mean, they were as big, and they were doing the drugs too, like the rock stars. Well, so I heard.
Allegedly.
Right, allegedly.
Allegedly, they were being paid in bags.
The funny
allegedly.
thing, a while back, last show I think it was, you mentioned the WBCN thing. My influence in Boston, you'd understand this too, is Mark Parento.
Sure, yeah, he was a huge supporter of comedy.
Mark Parento was, without a doubt, next to me, the best afternoon guy ever in the history of radio. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
By the way,
and a big comedy supporter. He would.
Yeah, big.
That was Another, you talk about big moments.
Yep.
When you're one of the coolest moments when you're driving down the road and you hear your comedy CD being played on BCN.
5 minutes.
Oh my God!
5 minutes past big hour. 5 o'clock.
That's it. Morons, psychopaths, and mental defectives.
No doubt, man. And by the way, the third best afternoon talent, just so you know, is JR at WHEB, my sister station. Just so you know. See, I know how to stroke the man.
Yeah, I know what you're doing, man.
I know what I'm doing there, you know.
I know, it's right down there on the bottom. I see
very good. Hey, see, wow, Jimmy Dunn, even though TV is fake, Jimmy's obviously dealt with it before because he knows how it goes.
I watch.
What do you do now? Like, what do you do on your off time?
On my off time.
Or do you have off time?
Yeah, I have. Do I have off time? I work a half hour a night. I got the best gig in the world. Yeah. Let's see. I eat a lot. I play video games. I like to surf. I'm a big surfer, and I live up near the beach, and I do a lot of surfing up there, and I get to surf a lot when I travel too. So. I like to enjoy the other 23 and a half hours, man.
Tell you what, we're going to come back. We're going to talk to Jimmy about his book, Boat Hack, in just a couple of seconds. He's now an author.
Yeah.
On top of everything else. And we have the two beer guys coming up. And Bam Margera. And Gilroy on Scorch PFG.
Treat me right, I need a beautiful girl.
Scorch's PFG TV. We call this show Letterman without the overhead. That's what I like to consider the show. We're like Letterman without the overhead, you know what I mean? It's comedian Jimmy Dunn with us, by the way.
Yeah, Jimmy
Dunn. Now, I love it. The book is called Boat Hack, a stand-up comic's farewell to the cruise industry. And you can clap for that, that's a good thing. He's an author now. So the interesting thing is, I know one of the pages you write that being a comedian on a cruise ship is like being a prisoner. You know what I mean? Tell us about that, because you got some great stories about the cruise ship industry,
It's, I did it for 10 years, and I would go out for a week at a time, maybe once a month, and people save their whole lives to go on cruises, and I get that. And they go out, and they have a completely different experience than we have. And we go out there for a week at a time, and as soon as we get on, we're counting the days until we get off. It's something about the comics mentality, and it's just, people telling you what to do, what you can do, what you can't do, and it just didn't fit my lifestyle. So it was a really fun job for a while. I traveled all over the world. I saw it. I went everywhere on cruise ships.
I would imagine,
And it was, it's a great gig. But then at midnight, when everyone is as shattered as they possibly can be, they go ahead, go entertain those drunks. Oh, thanks. This will be fun.
And
then you got to spend the whole week on the ship with the same people going, oh, please don't recognize me. Please don't recognize me. You're the comedian. I got a joke for you. Oh, that would be a treat.
That would be a treat.
That would be great,
because I don't have enough
sweetheart.
of my own good ones. I'd love to hear yours, So now, the first cruise ship, because I would imagine, like you said, at first, especially as a younger guy, you're like, cruise ship. You think Love Boat.
Yeah, and around here in the winter, and someone says, you want to go to Tahiti for 50 days and we'll pay you? Yes.
I would imagine. Wow.
Yeah.
No doubt, huh?
So I brought my surfboard on that trip, and that was a good one, man. That was
you
fun.
still have pictures of yourself wearing a grass skirt and caught like commando, right? On the website, is that right?
Those are on the internet, allegedly.
JimmyDunnXX.com, that's all other issue. What was that like, though? So that must have been... Now, Tahiti, and I'm going to sound really ignorant right now, they speak English?
They do speak English,
Okay.
yes, and French. English and French, which I know a little bit of French from high school. I learned that I can fake French because women like the language.
Does not
Well,
translate
no.
as
What I do is I
French.
string together wine, cheese, and a hockey player.
Oh, good for you, right?
So I'll go up to him and I go, Beaujolais et fromage Guy Lafleur.
Hell yeah! Oh, dude.
That's French right there.
I'm ready to unzip you right now, Jimmy Dunn. No doubt, man. Good for you.
That's scary.
Yeah, that is. You know what? The fact I thought about it's even scarier. But it's the French mentality. I think that's what did it.
I went to France on a ship.
Yeah.
I was 40 feet from the Eiffel Tower, and I get this French waiter giving me a hard time because I'm an American. And he goes, yeah, you get back to America, you tell your president, blah, blah, blah. And I went, buddy, let me stop you right there. We don't hang out, me and the president. But he just insisted he wants America, blah, 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 blah. And he starts giving me a hard time. And he goes, how come after the bombing and you wouldn't let us help rebuild something or other? And I went, finally I snapped, I go, because you haven't finished building France yet, right? I'm sitting 40 feet from the Eiffel Tower and I'm going, you haven't even put any sheetrock on that thing yet. The framing work is nice, but you got to finish the job.
How long did it take you to come up with this book? And be honest, this isn't one of those books you can do yourself.
That's a real book.
Right? Yeah, this is a real one.
It's a real book with a publisher, the whole deal, man. Yeah, thank you.
You can pick it up at JimmyDunnPublishing.com.
JimmyDunn.com, you can get that book. But it took me...
honestly, how long did it take? Was it a while?
What happened was every night after the shows, you get jacked up from the energy.
Yeah.
And so at midnight, I'd go sit up on the top deck of the ship, and I'd just write little stories and little things that I saw during the day. And comedians are always writing. We're always trying to put, So I had a stack of notebooks when I finally quit or got fired, depending on who you ask.
I know we're gonna talk about that soon. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. And I had this stack of notebooks, and I always had in my head that when I walked away, I was going to write sort of a tell-all thing because Anthony Bourdain's book, Kitchen Confidential, is one of my favorite books of all time. And I'm a huge fan of that. So I wanted to do something like that.
If you go to your Facebook page, I noticed you have Anthony Bourdain's book right on top of yours.
Right on top of mine.
Nice,
and Fear and Loathing on top of that, my 3 favorite books.
Now, let me ask you this, and I'm going to give Greg in the Morning Buzz a little plug, because when we're at Lend a Helping Hand, Greg in the Morning Buzz are on like 1 million stations in New England, rock101fm.com and other places, you know what I mean?
Big supporters.
Big supporters. You mentioned the story about how you ended your last comedy night on a cruise ship. Tell us about that.
All right. Well, I won't get into the details of why I was done, but a decision was made in my head that this is it. I'm done. And there was some talk with some management, and everybody basically came down and said, do this last show tonight, and then you can go, and we'll leave as whatever, but we'll leave.
Yeah.
So I thought I was going to take the high road, and it was a formal night, and everyone's all dressed up, and I'm doing the midnight show in my tuxedo, and the cruise director who I had a battle with is standing in the corner giving me the stink eye. And I got 5 minutes left in my cruise ship career. Well, I could just finish this out with some nice clean jokes and leave. And these people had nothing to do with this. Nah. So there's an old, really dirty joke called The Aristocrats that comedians do when they don't like the audience. And it starts off with a guy walking into an entertainment agency, and he says, I have the greatest act of all time. And then you go on to describe the act, and you describe the most filthy, vulgar act you can come up with. And the punchline is, what do you call such a horrible act? The Aristocrats. And it's not a real funny joke, but the brilliance in it is how filthy you can get.
Yeah, and other people make it dirtier than other
Dirty
people.
and dirtier and dirtier. Yeah, so anyway, I get into it, just everything that's wrong. And what do you call such an act? The Aristocrats. Good night. And the people were just like horrified. 8 a.m. the next morning, we're still an hour from land. Security banging on my door. Mr. Dunn, pack your bags and come with us. They threw me off in Mexico. Like I can't get home from Mexico. And that was it.
He just said it a while ago. Jimmy jumped on a surfboard and surfed from Mexico above the Pacific Ocean to the Pacific Northwest, all the way through Canada, back to New England.
The El Nino effect, yeah.
Back to Scorch's PFG.
Back here, man.
Hey, now, how do people get a hold of your book, for real?
JimmyDunn.com, there's a link on, you can buy it on the Kindles and the Nooks, and you can buy it online as a book, and JimmyDunn.com, you can get it.
I love it. Jimmy, thank you so much. Hey,
good to see you.
Would you come back on?
I would love to.
Okay,
I love this.
We're going to have you back on soon, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's Jimmy Dunn, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Buy the book. Buy the book. Hey, listen, and trust us, We don't usually do anything by the book. So,
Right.
you know what I mean? On the way, we're going to talk to the two beer guys and Bam Margera on Scorch's PFG TV. We're coming right back. It worked, okay? I invited the two beer guys to come in. I said, bring us some samples. They did what I expected them to do. They gave us the samples. Now we don't even need to talk to them.
Let's drink.
Do you know what I mean? Let's drink to them, to the two beer guys. God bless you.
We drink.
You know what? They have a blog and they're online, twobeerguys.com. And they really have a lot of good things to say. Today we're going to be talking about winter beers. Give it up for Sean and Ryan. It's the two beer guys. Let's go to PFG TV. See, I would stand up and welcome you as well, but I've been drinking with you guys since 10 this morning, and it's now about 11:30 at night, so I don't think I can stand, you know what I mean? Tell us about the twobeerguys.com and what made you, other than the fact you like to drink and you want to talk about it, made you come up with the website?
Well, in about 2005, my friend Ian and I, we were drinking a lot of beer, and we became we became really good at buying beer, and we realized that we would make these walls of beer, and we'd find 12 packs and cases. We'd have 12 packs for like $6.99. And we realized that we had this whole big wall of beer, and all the beer was about the same style. We saw these other beers on the shelf that we just ignored every single time because they cost the same. And we realized that if we were going to try those, we wanted to start writing them down. So our original concept was that we started writing down the beers that we were having, and we came up with a process to basically score beer, and we sort of morphed it off of some other groups that were out there and came up with this way. And since then, we've been teaching about beer, expanding people's minds, and hosting a lot of different beer events in the region.
Do you know what I like now? I really like Guinness Black. Okay, the Guinness Black, it doesn't taste like and I love Guinness too. Guinness Black doesn't taste like Guinness. It's almost like a Yingling, which God bless Yingling, you know. But now, so let me ask you guys this. You know about beer. Guinness originally, the real Guinness, if you still get it from overseas, it has beef bones and beef and meat marrow in it. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that as well.
Yeah, look it up. Honest to God, I'm not giving you crap. Real Guinness beer is made with beef marrow as part of the beer. It's interesting. What's the strangest ingredient you've seen pop up in beer in your travels? As the twobeerguys.com, by the way.
There's a lot of beers that are coming out right now with people are experimenting with bacon.
Bacon beer, yeah.
Yeah, bacon. There's all sorts of. There's also if you can grow it, they're trying to put it in it, and so that there are all sorts of different things out there. We brought your local brew, so this is actually made here in town. On the ends is Jack's Abbey. It started in January 2011.
Now, it's made in town. Is it made here?
I don't think it's made in this studio, but it is made in town.
Really?
And we brought two beers. We brought a session lager and a IPL. An IPL might confuse you because it stands for India Pale Lager rather than India Pale Ale.
I'll tell you what, session lager, that confused me a little bit more than IPL, just so you know.
Well, right now there's a sort of a movement of a group of people where that they want high quality, high flavorful beer, but lower in alcohol. And the idea of it.
What the hell is wrong with America? What do you mean?
The idea behind sessions is that you can sit down and have a bunch of them in a session and you still can function afterwards.
Okay, I'll get that, yeah.
So you want something that's flavorful and something tasty.
Have you not seen this show? We don't like to function afterwards.
Right. Talking to the wrong guys.
I'm like, function after. We don't like to function even before it. What the hell?
We don't.
And now let me ask you this: where in Framingham where's the brewery in Framingham? I've never. Well, are you going to give me the address for crap? I could have done that. I don't have a beer blog, and I could have done that.
Well, the map is right there. If you could pull it up, it's right off of the Morton Street.
Well, they should be advertising on the show. What else do you have with you?
So we also brought Winterhook from Red Hook. Red Hook started in Seattle, Washington in 1981. They opened up a brewery, Red Hook, in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, in 1996, and we brought their Winter Hook. Red Hook's been making this beer for 28 years, and each year the recipe is a little bit different.
Hey, what is this? Help me, help me. That's Sean's liver.
I thought it was the fly.
Your liver right now is like just curdling up, saying, tell him about more beer. Come on, man. What the hell? Now, before Sean opened up twobeerguys.com, Sean was 112 pounds. Just so you know. So
you know what they say about a skinny beer guy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't trust him.
What else you got for the last beer?
Nope. So there's two beers from the same brewery.
And now tell us about the twobeerguys.com. Tell us about your site.
So if you visit our site, we actually have two different personas. The main site is about beer education, where you can learn about different styles of beer and different beers that we've had. And then we have our blog site where we do collaborations with other breweries or other bloggers across the United States. Right now we're featuring 31 beers of December, and that is kind of like a beer advent calendar. And we've gone out to our friends, and we have 31 different bloggers blogging every day about their beer from the region that they live in. That's their favorite beer.
Do you guys like talk dirty beer to each other? You guys say, so how are your hops looking, man? Oh, I saw the most beautiful set of barley the other day. Did you guys do like dirty beer talk? No?
We haven't, but
that might be a good genre to start, dirty beer talk. We'll have it on scorchespfgtv.com. Hey, listen, guys, here's what I want to do. 2013, I would love to have you on the show more regular as the Scorch's PFG TV Beer Guys.
Yeah.
You got it?
We would like to be here with you.
Okay, there you go. It's Two Beer Guys, twobeerguys.com. And we're just about ready to close things out. But before we do, this was an honor and a privilege, rather. See what happened when you started?
Give him another beer.
This is an honor and a privilege.
And I mean that, man.
And I mean that, man. And a lot of things are coming out of it, which is a really good thing. Give it up, a very special guest. This is Bam Margera, live on Scorch's PFG TV. Hey, look at this. I'm here with Bam Margera. It looked like I had a noose coming down. I'm like, what the hell you setting me up for, man? I don't want to be part of your little stunts. What's going on, brother? How's it going, man?
Good. We've been doing this F-Face Unstoppable tour in New England, and this is our last date. And then we have a sold-out show in Pittsburgh, actually, on the 17th.
And you get to go from Manchester and New Hampshire to Pittsburgh. You're living the life, man.
Well, actually, we have 2 days off, don't we?
Yeah. But right after Pittsburgh, you fly the next morning. Right after Pittsburgh, he flies the next morning right to Jacksonville.
I don't believe that's happening.
We can have a fight about it. That's cool with us.
We can have a fight about
I think that's cool. Hey, what made you? Because I'm sure you get asked this all the time, but our listeners, and they probably haven't seen it. What made you start doing what the hell you do?
Well, basically, I started skateboarding when I was 7, and there was always a camera around me filming the skate tricks, and I just started doing like goofy things in between, like getting in a shopping cart and getting pushed full speed into a bush or something, and I made a video called CKY, and people who didn't even skate liked it just as much as the skaters. So through word of mouth, it got a hold of Jeff Tremaine, who asked me to be on a show called Jackass eventually.
Yep. And did you say to yourself, look, I've been doing this stupid fish forever, and I'm actually going to be a star from it. You know what I mean? That must have been something, huh?
It actually happened like a light switch overnight. Like the very next day, I was like the nobody kid who nobody gave a crap about in high school, and then the next day, like every girl wanted to talk to me, to the point where I was like, this is so, like, it was such bollocks that I just quit the very next day.
Yeah, right?
10th grade, I quit.
So good for you. See, to the National Education Association, we don't recommend this for everybody. However, Bam did it and succeeded. I did it, and look where I ended up. You know what I mean? So that's a big difference.
Well, the guidance counselor was like, he didn't even know if I was any good at skateboarding or anything. He's like, you're quitting school to become a professional skateboarder. I'm like, yeah. He's like, huh. And you think that's going to work? I'm like, I know it's going to work. He's like, skateboarding is a fad. It's going to die out in a year, and then you're going to be stranded with nothing. Then I went to California, came back 6 months later with a red Ferrari, and he directs traffic at the end, so I was going to pull up and just give him the finger, but something came over me, and I never wound up doing it.
Did you see him in a
You do still have time to do that, though. You know, I mean, you definitely do still have time to give him the finger. I would imagine he's probably expecting that. But you know what? If you do that now, you're gonna get this guy's gonna be like, Ben Margera gave me the finger. He's gonna be all, he's gonna get the women because of that. You know what I mean?
He's got to see newspapers around the Philly area knowing what I'm up to. So.
That was somebody that was just shooting me with I just got tasered with the cops are here tasering me. I don't know what the hell's going on. Hi, everybody out there in camera land. What's going on? Yeah, there you go. Who you taking pictures for, by the way? It's not for the police, right? Okay, there you go. I love it. Now, you've done lots of different stunts. Have you, I've been in professional wrestling, so I know when something's going to go wrong, you're like, oh, crap, this ain't going to work right. Yeah. Have you been in the middle of a stunt when you say, it starts off great, this is going to be great, oh, shit, this ain't good?
Well, whenever I think that in the beginning before the stunt happens, I go, hey, Novak.
Yeah, right.
Why don't you get in the shopping cart? Because I don't think, or whatever, but anything that I don't want to do is something that's out of my control, like falling into a pit of snakes. Yeah. I got sabotaged. Yeah. And I think I'm going to do a Rocky on the director, Tremaine, but instead I sneak up and fall into a pit of snakes. If I would have known that was going to happen, I would have been on the first flight home to Philadelphia.
Yep. Now, so, because I hear you have a fear of snakes. Is that right? Like a bad fear of snakes?
Yeah, and that's the worst thing you could ever tell Jackass. Like, I'll do anything, I just don't want to mess around with snakes because I really don't like snakes. All that means is let's get snakes in front of Bam.
So when something like that happens, you avoid that altogether. You check into every stunt you do now, right?
As best as you can, but I mean, you're never safe on the Jackass set. Like even if it's like lunchtime and like, you know, that you're still not safe. Like that's when you go for the macaroni and cheese, and then a macaroni and cheese bomb will blow up in your face or something.
Which is so cool that you're still true to yourself, which I love. So how have you? How have you, for lack of a better term, accepted and lived with going from being what you just said, is dropping out of 10th grade to being a mega star? How is Bam Margera like handled that? You're still yourself and you still have fun.
I've never moved. I'm in Los Angeles more than I'm home, but I mean Paramount buys me a hotel, so there's no need for me to get a place out there. So I've always lived where I came from. And Novak actually was at some diner listening to some frat boy talking about me, and he didn't know that he's my best friend. So he over here says, man, F that kid, Bam, man. That kid forgot where he came from. And Novak's just like,
idiot, he still lives where he came from, so how is he going to not know where he came from if he still lives where he came from?
I'm going to bring up something, and it's not a bad thing. I'm going to turn a bad thing into a good thing, okay? The thing you did with the poster with the dog, okay? I know you got a lot of crap for that. Now, this is a legit fact. I live in a dog's crate for a week every year. To raise money for no-kill animal shelters. And you know what? As somebody that does things for animals, I thought that was hilarious, man. Good for you, you know what I mean? That didn't offend me. And honestly, if that didn't offend me, those people that got all bitching and moaning about it, lighten the hell up, people.
And
you know what I mean?
Not to mention, I've 6 kitty cats and a puppy. Like, I'm obviously an animal lover.
Of course.
And whether the gun was real or fake, which it was fake, I'm on Jackass. I like all kinds of humor, and I like shock value purposes. The worst thing was my timing was so bad with the gun fire because I don't read the paper and I don't watch the news. So apparently 2 days before that in the Philadelphia area, people were burning dogs in their cages.
Oh, yeah.
So it was really bad timing on my part. If I would have known that, I wouldn't have shot the photo.
You know what? And now to get back to a happier note, people should watch stuff like Jackass because that's how you don't have fun burning animals. You have fun going off of cliffs in shopping carts saying, help! You know, so, hey, it's Bam Margera. Hey, Bam, thank you so much for coming out to Scorch's PFG TV Fest. Have a ball out there. And we're going to take you up on helping us out on the Pause for the Cause. You know what I mean? It's Bam Margera and crew live on the bus on Scorch's PFG TV. And by the way, and he's not even gay.
I'm gay if I'm bored or can be paid out of it.
There you go. We are live. It's Scorch's PFG TV. We'll be coming back live from the PFG TV Fest.
If you have any sense, go buy this book. It's the best autobiography memoir written in the world. It's called Dream Seller. Seller. Buy it, boys.
I think we need to play All My Friends Are Dead.
Alive on Scorch's PFG TV.
Hey guys, it's Shelly. We're at the Super Mega Fest in Framingham at the Sheraton Tara. There's tons of costumes and shenanigans. Let's go in. A lot of stuff here.
A very large body
beautiful
of work.
Do you have any like favorite memories of movies that you've been on? Or?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, Under Siege 2 with Steven Seagal was one of my favorite things to do ever.
Is he big? He
He's
seems
huge.
like he's like a big guy.
Yeah, like
but-
6'6", and he speaks very softly, so he commands your attention.
Really?
But I get shot in the knee, and
did you have like fake blood and
yeah,
everything?
I had literally someone rigged my knee up.
Oh,
so
okay.
we had like a wire, and I was a little scared. I was like, what if this like blood? I mean, something could have gone wrong.
Well,
But
yeah.
it didn't. It didn't. Thank God.
Do you have like a favorite photographer that you work with, or?
I have a few. One of my favorite of all time was Francesco Scavullo, who shot this.
Oh,
He
wow.
had shot every single Cosmopolitan cover in the history of Cosmo till he passed away.
Really?
So to shoot with him was a dream, and that's why I have it blown out back there.
This is a gorgeous picture. I love kind of like the natural look and everything.
And he used one light. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with a lot of studios and stuff, but usually there's lights from every angle.
Oh,
he
yeah.
used one light.
That's
he
it.
did the Brooke Shields Calvin Klein ad. Remember that?
Oh, I do. I do.
Yeah, that's Scavullo. So to shoot with him was a dream, but now I have Lisa Boyle, who I love, and she and I are actually starting our own little business.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, when will that be established? In the near future? or?
Yeah, we're putting up the site now. It's called Belle de Jour, where she does the photography and I will style. And that's why we were talking about these lovely little outfits.
Absolutely. You know what? I love being a girl, and I'm sure you do too. It's always fun
my
getting
favorite.
dressed up.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Sandra.
Thank
I don't want
you.
to take up any more of your time.
Aw.
I'm sure you're a busy lady, but
thank you.
I love this, and I hope you have a great day.
You too.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yesterday, last
Did
night.
you hop the pond?
Over the pond.
You
I
went
flew-
over the pond?
I flew over the pond yesterday from London, and I go back over the pond tomorrow evening.
Oh, do you? So
I
this is
meet
a
my-
very quick trip for you then.
I meet my jet lag somewhere over the Atlantic. It
Well-
will hit me.
So do you have like any like memorable experiences being in the
I do.
business? Yes.
My memorable experience is standing next to you.
Is it
With
really
those lovely
now?
long-
Is it
long
because
legs
of
and the boots.
Is it because of my ears?
Oh.
I'm supposed to be Rebel Mouse. It's Minnie Mouse, but with an edge.
Oh. Minnie Mouse with an edge. I love
Yes.
that.
So do you have anything in the works coming up?
Yeah, I'm doing a horror film in England at the moment.
Oh yes?
It's called The Spiderlings. It's very horrible.
Can you give away any details, or is it all hush hush?
And now I'm an evil guy. And
But you look
do
so
get killed.
innocent. I can't believe that.
I do get killed in the end of it. I do go a very awful death.
Really? Is it
Yes.
quite gruesome?
Very gruesome.
Very
A
gruesome.
lot of blood, a lot of gore. I die.
Oh.
And I'm doing another thing which I can't tell you about.
Okay, so that's top secret confidential.
Yeah, very confidential.
Very confidential.
Yes, very confidential.
But is it going to be awesome?
It's
what
gonna
you're
be,
doing?
It's going to be good. You'll soon know about it in March, April in this country. You'll soon know about it.
Have you ever gone on location, like somewhere awesome? Like, have you been to like Fiji or Tahiti or Bora Bora? or-
I've been to those places on vacation.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Hawaii twice. I love it.
I've never been to Hawaii. Have you ever tried surfing?
No. A dwarf
Come on,
on
you
a
gotta add
surfboard.
that to your list.
No, come on, love. Look, a dwarf on a surfboard. Can you manage
Yeah,
it?
no, you could. They have small boards. You don't have to get on one of those long boards. Don't patronize me, mister.
Oh, I did
Listen,
see those. I
These
did see
boots
those
are made for
stripes.
walking, okay?
They're lovely. They're lovely.
Well, thank you. I don't want to take up too much more of
Yeah,
your time,
thank you
but
so much indeed. Great. It's lovely talking to the young lady. You are lucky to have her on your television station.
oh, such kind words. I am here with Jen Wilkie. She's the 2012 Miss Playboy Social winner. Tell me, what do you have in store for your fans in the coming year?
Well, there is going to be Playboy Miss Social of the Year coming up in January. I'm going to try my hardest to win. And also Miss Social Network, that's coming up in February. So my fans should keep a lookout, and I'm going to have a lot of new pictures coming out. So
Awesome. Well, you have quite the display here, I have to say. Very beautiful work. Do you work with like many different photographers, or?
not really. I work with mainly one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long have you guys like been like collaborating together?
Just a year and a half.
That's it?
Yeah. I can't even believe how far I've made it in a year, you know?
Well, obviously you're doing something right. What has been your favorite exhibit today?
Oh my gosh, Dean Payne. I went over there and
He's here?
He is. I think he's on
Superman.
like break or something. Yeah. I shook his hand. I was starstruck. I was like, oh my god, if you get a chance, take a picture with me.
Absolutely. I remember being like a little girl, like watching that, and like who was Terry Hatcher, right? She played Lois Lane. Yeah.
Awesome.
There are so many great costumes here and so many awesome things. Jen Wilkie, fabulous. Thank you so much for taking the time.
So cool.
So I have to say, is this your first time at Super Mega Fest?
It's my first time and very first time here and the East Coast as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So how is it a lot different than from back home for you or in Germany?
I
or?
mean, it's cold. It's like in Germany. It's pretty cold.
Yeah.
But I only went to the hotel, so I didn't see anything from outside.
Oh, really?
So-
Oh, okay. So how long have you been in the industry? How long have you been like modeling and everything?
I'm modeling almost for 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you
It's
have a
not bad,
favorite
yeah.
photographer that you work with? Or?
Yeah, he is my favorite photographer.
Oh, okay.
He's doing everything.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
done
not a bad
everything.
gig.
I mean, I love David LaChapelle, but I never had a shooting with him, so.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a dream come true one
Yes.
time.
Well, a girl can always dream.
We'll see.
Fingers crossed. So, do you have anything in the works? Is there anything coming in the new year that you're going to be promoting or doing?
Oh, a lot is coming on. I mean, I have my calendar. It's already out.
Life size.
Yes, life size. And in a couple of weeks, I release my first yoga DVD for beginners.
Really?
Yeah.
So, are you really into like health and fitness?
Yeah,
And-
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important to have that. I'm sure you have a very busy life with everything
Yeah,
and the modeling.
It's
So
definitely good if you're always stressed and then travel around. So it's good to if you can do the yoga stuff, and it's also good for my back.
it is. No, absolutely.
It's awesome.
Yes. Well, you must be so thankful for all of this. It's definitely awesome. It looks like you have a lot of great products here. Is there any way that your fans can reach you? Do you have a website?
Yeah,
or?
I have a website. It's www.jordancarver.com, or you can look me up at my Facebook page, Jordan Carver Model, and Twitter, of course.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jordan.
Thank you.
Take care. I hope
Thank
you
you.
enjoy the rest of Super Mega Fest.
Definitely. It's awesome here.
Okay. Thank you for watching Scorch's PFG TV. See ya. Woo! Bye.